waiting for you. I'll say it for you. He's waiting on you. His grace is for you. Alright, so what's up with y'all? This your boy Rick Rodgers, the hit maker, and I'm with
Noonie Rogers.
And right now we are podcasting from our hotel room in Baltimore.
Yes.
Would you like to let the people know what we're doing in Baltimore?
Yes, so we are in Baltimore, Maryland at the No Flesh Scratch that. We're going to do that over. We're at the No Flesh Conference. This is a conference that I cannot get my words out. I don't know. I'm just like, I got so much excitement going on. So yes, we're at the No Flesh Conference. I want to say concert so bad, y'all. It was turned like a concert, but it was definitely a conference. This is one of our friends live put together. We had Marcus Rogers out there, and we also had Daniel Adams out there as well. Definitely a vibe. How you feel?
I feel good. I'm thirsty.
Not you grabbed the soda. Hold on. I want some soda too.
In the
Wait
middle
a second.
of the podcast.
Shout out to Purple Crush, y'all. Let me tell y'all. First of all, y'all know I'm already a fan of my sparkling water. I love sparkling water. But I told Rick, I said, this is the only time I'm going to cheat because I've been doing really good. And so we had a pizza. It was supposed to be flatbread, but it wasn't. But it was a vegetable pizza. It's all right. But we had to top it off with a Purple Crush, man. If y'all, I love the purple drinks.
You could have fasted. You ain't had to eat.
I definitely didn't have to eat, but I didn't want to get a headache, y'all. If I don't eat, I get a headache. And I get real bad migraines. So yeah.
All right, so
But I definitely want to sip of your drink though.
Where you cup it?
I don't know. Right there.
You just sip my drink, then I guess it's all right.
Get a sip of your drink.
So you mentioned a few names.
Yes.
Daniel Adams being one.
Yes.
So just tell me what you know about him, how you came across him, and what do you think about him? So
I came across Daniel Adams when I had went to go see that movie, that Christian movie about deliverance that was out for one day in the movie theater.
I think it's called Come Out in Jesus' Name or something like that.
Yes. So Daniel Adams is a follower of Christ, and he be casting out the demons, pretty much. So when I seen that, I was like, wow, like that's different. Like that's like a different type of, I don't know, like that kind of, it really sparked my interest because like I've never seen like nobody really doing that, you know, other than like the movie or the exorcism or something like that. But just to see like somebody like really going out there like in the trenches, like people say they in the trenches, but nah, this man really be out there like in the trenches, like and just so y'all know,
she's not saying that he's the only person in the world that does it. It's just the person that she came across that's actively doing it.
Yes, exactly. But like he's really like in these trenches, traveling from different countries, like casting out demons, and so. That was my first interaction. That's my first time me ever seeing him or even hearing about him. And I thought that was pretty dope. So seeing him like in the flesh, like I'm not gonna lie, I was like, OMG.
Word.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh. Like I didn't know what was gonna happen, you know, like I was definitely nervous but excited at the same time.
That's lit. So I just want to go ahead and get this out because I feel like we talk amongst each other all day long, and I feel like most of the conversations we can have on our podcast. So without me trying to seem like I'm stirring up any trouble, this is a question for you as like it's been less than a year that you've been a reborn again Christian, right? So we're on the topic of Daniel Adams. There's a lot of controversy going on.
Yeah.
With I don't even want to be specific about the controversy. I just want to touch on, as a new believer, how does it make you feel when you see so much controversy between like some of the leading voices in the Christian community today?
It seemed like it seemed like it's pretty much the same thing that go on the other side, except that it's not like with the violence. That's what good. I mean, it's not, but you know, that's just the world we live in. Especially with social media being involved. From what I see, and when I look at, you know, other like followers that's like trending or big, it seemed like it's more so like for like the views and the likes. So I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong, like it doesn't put like a bad taste in my mouth to where I feel like, nah, I don't want to be no Christian no more. I don't want to be no follower of Christ no more. You know what I'm saying? Because I know everybody like everybody falls short somewhere, so they make their mistakes. But I just wish that it was a lot more unity, in, you know what I'm saying, in Christianity. I wish it was more unity. And then I also feel like it's a little, you could tell that like certain people, like when they get to a certain point, like they have to kind of like bend the rules, and I don't really like that.
You mean bend them like what though? Like what you mean by that? Like you mean just like the Hollywood Christianity? Like were they not like?
Yeah, like they gotta be like a set, like pretty much like they can't really talk about like what really go on.
Right,
like,
they don't want to offend people. I guess.
And I just feel like I feel like that's fake.
Yeah, in the sense it's almost like denying the gospel for real. I feel like if you're not speaking it for what it is, then you kind of denying the power of it. Like if you're not saying what it really is. Okay, so I just definitely wanted to get your take on the little. I consider it bickering. Like
bickering.
Yeah, it's like. Yeah. I mean, for one, we're not even supposed to be like embarrass each other on main stage because it's like in the Bible it pretty much says something about like if y'all can't figure out y'all little quarrels on your own, how do y'all even expect to be able to judge people in the world? Like even though we're not supposed to judge sinners, but the thing is, a lot of us fix our mouths to do that. You know what I'm saying? We fix our mouths to think we're so righteous and different than sinners and all this stuff like that. But it's like, how can we even fix our mouths to judge anyone else when we can't even get over the little disagreements that we have? So yeah, I don't like the bickering, the back and forth with Christianity. Like y'all gonna do it through text or something, or get on three-way with a few people. But the old trying to make people stop following people, like you can really be taking food out of somebody's mouth depending on what you put on the internet. Like I be seeing this dude, he be posting about how this other guy is gay and all this other stuff, like just really trying to like take food out of that man's mouth. So I encourage every Christian to just mind your business and preach the gospel at the end of the day. And if you have an issue with a Christian, a fellow Christian, reach out to them and address it, because you could just be wrong. You could be reading into it wrong. You don't even know. You just speaking from a place of stuff you don't even know about. So it's best to just hit them up before you make yourself look like a fool.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I just feel like I don't think there's nothing wrong with like correction, but it's just really how you go about it, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like social media is just not the place for it. Like, because like I said, it just comes off as like clout. It just feel like clout or just view chasing or like chasing. That's what I'm starting to see. Like
it's
even like with the little skits, I just feel like that's just a little bit too much. But you know, that's neither here or there. That's just a lane that I personally won't be a part of, that I won't be joining. So you definitely won't have to worry about, you know, hearing that from me or my husband, because we just, you know, just tend to do things a little bit differently.
I mean, for real. I almost got into that like a little bit, but
I know. Let's talk about it.
But I wouldn't have been like trying to expose like Christians and all of that. But when I do see crazy like transsexual videos and they be spazzing and wilding, I do be wanting to speak on stuff like that. But like I said, the last thing I read in the Bible within this last week was, I am no one to judge anyone. All judgment is kind of left up to God. You know what I'm saying? Unless I'm trying to correct a fellow Christian, in which the people in my circle, I don't really have much to say about the things that they do.
Right.
So what I get out of the gospel is preach the gospel, keep your mouth closed, love everybody, take yourself out of it. I feel like pride you could see pride on these people when you really have to, because think about what you got to do to expose somebody.
Yeah.
You got to charge the camera. You got to get this cord hooked up.
You got to
do this. You got to make sure the internet right. You got to make sure the chat box straight. So you literally have some type of point to prove, like, and that's where pride comes into play. It's like, you don't have no pride. I don't have no point to prove. It's whatever, bro. Like, I love you. I think this. If I'm wrong, cool, whatever. Boom, boom, boom. It should be as simple as that. But people go through a lot just to. But they kind of, people feeding their families off of it too, so I understand that too. But my thing is, back to the Bible again, do you trust God enough? Like, do you really trust him that he's going to feed you? Like, even if you don't have no food, he's going to feed you. So it's like, you shouldn't have to be exposing people left and right to feed your family. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And just trying to correct the whole world is just weird. Like, all of us just fall short for real.
I definitely agree to that. I think one of the things that I struggle with is kind of like with the whole the gender thing. And I know as a Christian, like, we're not here to judge, but I feel like what's wrong is wrong and what's right is right. So I just have a hard time with, like, when I see other people that are followers of Christ, that's kind of like, I wouldn't say avoiding it, but like not, I want to say not addressing it, but they're kind of like making it okay. You get what I'm saying? Like, I know we supposed to love one another, you know, of course, but that's not right.
Yeah, but we still can't walk around telling people that they wrong. They know they wrong. It's like, but it's like,
you
have to convince someone. Like, there shouldn't be that much dialogue about what a woman is. It's like, I've never in my whole life had to because
there really is in today's world.
Remember the thing I talked about though, where when you give people excuses, they take them.
Yeah.
So I feel like the world gives them excuses and now they can take them. Like, a lot of people is like this whole suicide thing. If you don't let people, because basically pretty much the argument is, if you don't let these kids get their sex changed, it's going to drive them to suicide. But it's like, that was never a thing until somebody said it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that idea that they can't get a whole sex change at this age, we never even was having that conversation. But now that it's an excuse, people take it and use it.
I mean, look at what they're doing. Like, they're even putting, I read an article that said, like, the testosterone levels in men, like, decrease because of the stuff that they're putting in foods. So it's like, this is like something that is purposely being done, like, you know. And to me, I just have a hard time with, like, I don't have a problem with people that are, you know what I'm saying, are trans. Like, I'm not like, oh my God, like, I can't be around you because you're, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not me. But I think my part comes in, like, in the logical aspect, because it's like, somebody telling me that a man can be a woman, I just don't, that's just a no. Like, I don't, you know, you die today, your bones get found, you're going to classify as a man. So I just don't really like the whole, like, there's people that's kind of like making that like true, and it's not true.
See, but
and it's just like, why are we doing that? Like, why?
The argument tends to get worse though when you have a woman who was a woman but is now identified as a man. So they say stuff like trans men. They say basically men can get pregnant because women are men now. But at the end of the day, it's like, I don't know. You're not a man. And he's not a woman. You can dress like him, but y'all really not. And me personally, if it ever comes to that type of argument, I don't want to talk past the point, because it's like trying to convince me that 2 + 2 don't equal 4. I'm not going past that point. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, I don't understand. I just have a hard time with people just making that a truth when it's clear as day.
Yeah, like, I know people, like, personally,
this is not a truth,
that has done things to their body. And I never want them to, like, hear my truth or how I feel and think I'm talking about them, because I love everybody. Like, I don't have no issue with it. But if you ask me, do I think it's right or wrong, I'm going to tell you my answer. And I think, like, I don't even think you should want to have any type of friendship with me or relationship with me if I can't be honest with you and you ask me a question.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
I think that's the biggest part of being a friend or somebody that cares, is just being able to, you know what I'm saying, tell the truth. I mean,
yeah, like, I can't keep it real with you.
I know for certain that a man can't be a woman and a woman can't be a man. I mean, it don't matter how many surgeries you get is just not.
Yeah, and I try not to
going
get
to
too
be
deep into the
with
whole
that.
psychological part because I never grew up wanting to be the opposite or none of that. So I don't speak on that point of view because I do think mental health is like a real thing. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I feel like the more that the world panders to it and
Makes it
they
acceptable.
created classes and everything like professions off of it, and that's one thing that really that eats me up on the inside is like I feel like the government and stuff trying to allow it and all of that. It's all about money. It's not even really about caring about the people and what they going through. It's like if you notice everything, like kind of how you were saying, if it becomes a trend and it's kind of not good. So just like vegan, I don't think nobody in the store like Walmart cares nothing about how healthy you eat. They only worry about if y'all buying it. So I
Right.
don't think nobody cared about like transsexuals and all that until it became a popular thing. Then you start seeing shirts, you start seeing books, you start seeing it in legislation, you start seeing it in everything. So I think everything is a money grab for the people that's in charge. I really think they
Well,
don't care about suicide, whether they kill themselves or none. I don't think they care at all.
I think it's more so acceptable. I think they made it acceptable for them because that's what they do in their in their thing. Like that's the norm for them. So it's like basically like just making it more acceptable. Like
And
how
making the
they
world
got
conform to what they like.
how they got the children now, and now the children don't have to classify as a gender, and it's like okay, but we know that these elites are doing these things with these children. So it's just like I feel like it's just ways to make things like acceptable so it can cater to them. Like how remember we seen like a what was it like the last year, the year before last, that they were basically trying to justify the whole child pornography and pedophiles, like trying to like, and I'm like, I thought that was weird. I'm just like, okay, like this is because y'all want to make this a okay thing because this is what y'all are doing to these children. So
how do you feel about like what the everyday people that we grew up around, like not every day, because of course friends change over years, but we all have a core set of people that we follow, especially on Facebook. You don't see no one talking about none of these serious like accusations, like even the 85,000 kids that supposedly just disappeared. I don't even know if you've seen that.
yes,
But stuff like that, or just like the whole Epstein thing and all that, you
yes.
rarely see people talking about this type of stuff. Why is that, though, you think?
I see a lot more people talking about it actually. But I feel like the people that, that we grew up with, their mind is just so gone into, whatever Satan has going on. So it's like they can't even really see what's really going on in the world because it's a lot of drugs being involved. It's a lot of sex being involved. It's a lot of violence being involved. Like it's almost like a different world. So they're not really seeing what's really going on. Like, they're not putting two and two together. Like how I was putting two and two together when they had all these missing children coming up and when they had the whole van thing going on. And I'm just like, how in the world can we find Osama bin Laden in the whole other country where we can't find these children? Like it just don't make no sense to me.
My thing too is like what makes it spike up to the point it's on the news all the time. They telling you to watch out for vans, and then it just don't even be on the news no more. Like
I don't know.
There's something wrong with that though. Something ain't right with that because I'm sure kids are still getting kidnapped like on a daily. But it's like they chose to highlight it for a certain period of time and then it just goes away.
Well, it's mass control. They pretty much put any storyline in the news to, distract us from what's really going on, and they've been doing that for a long time. And unfortunately, people go with it, and they, because there's a lot of historical events, tragedies that had happened that I think that was made up. But people will call me a conspiracy theorist, if I get into that. But I feel like, the people, the elites definitely make up, stories to basically alter our minds. They've been doing that from the beginning.
Yeah, to get us to be thinking about other stuff.
Like the way how we look at other countries. Like we look at other countries based on what they show us about other countries. So they've been doing it for a long time, and it's just like I just feel like most of the people that that are out here, like they're just blind to what's really going on. Like they don't have no idea what's really going on.
Do you think they feel like they can't do nothing about it? Like what will make you think it? Because people come to the rescue of people that they don't know all the time. Like when you see Fremont such and such, you got some people, like especially on like Shade Room or Academics page or something like that.
I don't follow him, by the way.
I'm just saying, but people come to the rescue of, and just in the comment section, it's not like a real thing, but people choose what they pretty much care about. So it's like you got some people who agree, well, he should have been doing this, he should have been doing. You got some people say free him, he da-da-da-da. Like it's like everybody picks a side. So what makes you think? Why do you think they choose not to want to do something about the crazy stuff that goes on in the world, like the murder and stuff like that? Everybody seems to be okay with it.
I mean, because they can't even do nothing about what's going on in their household or their community. I mean, you gotta think about it, especially where we from. Like we pretty much all know each other. We know somebody that knows somebody. You know what I'm saying? So it's like how I still can't understand how it's so many deaths going on, especially the younger children. Like I'm seeing children that are 14, 15, 16 years old that's, you know what I'm saying, that's getting killed. And it's like a lot of these parents are cool. So it just, you know what I'm saying, like that, it just doesn't make sense to me. But it's just like if they can't even take care of what's going on in their own backyard. So it's like, how you expect them to fight for something that's, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Everybody don't want to be a snitch. You know, everybody want to be on demon time. Everybody think it's cool to tote guns, and they still listening to their secular music. So it's just like they're drowning in all this negativity and all this stuff that, you know what I'm saying, that's of Satan and of the devil. And it's just like, that's just where they at. They stuck.
How do you feel being on the other side of the coin? Because sometimes I feel like, sometimes I actually do feel guilty a little bit talking about stuff like that in the way that I do. But at the same time, I feel like God opened my eyes. So it's like, I just see things different.
I don't feel guilty. I mean, I wasn't saved, but I was never on that side. I mean, I wouldn't say like on that side. Like even when stuff was like that going on, like even when, you know what I'm saying, like me and you, like when we used to go out, you know, and travel and stuff like that. Like I used to tell you all the time, I don't feel comfortable. Like I don't care who that person is. You know, it used to be like, oh, you could trust this one. I ain't trusting nobody. I don't care what, I don't know what that person got going on. I know what that person does, and I know what comes with that. So it's like I always was aware. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't, I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't saved, but I was always aware, like always aware.
When I was talking to that young kid earlier today, I think his name was Kenny. Mm-hmm. Something just came in my mind or whatever. I won't say something, I feel like it's the Holy Spirit probably gave it to me, but it was more so like, I never had nothing in my life, right, ever, that I wanted somebody else to have so bad. Like, no matter if I had got some money, I didn't want nobody to have the money I had. I don't want nobody to have the talent I got. Yeah. I don't want nobody to have the depression I got. But I have a Jesus, and I want everybody in the world to have that junk. Yes. And it seemed like the hardest thing to talk to people about.
You think it's hard?
It seemed like everybody's kind of, I guess the hardness in the heart kind of make you not want to. Of course, you could talk to people who already know about it, but when if you try to street food, it just looks difficult a little bit. Yeah,
I definitely can understand. I know I have some, you know, people that I still kind of talk to, and they kind of like, they're not all the way there. They kind of think, you know, because they have like a relationship, it's like, that's it. And I'm like, no, like you got to do the work. But I stand firm on that though. Like I really do, because I mean, that's just what it is. Like, you don't want the blind leading the blind. So I'm going to be the one to tell you, you need to get in your word. You start reading, like, because it's a lot deeper than what you think it is, you know, versus just saying, you know, I know my God and we have a relationship and that's just it. Like, no.
Yeah, everybody uses
that. And
I
used to be guilty of that.
That's what I'm saying. I used to be guilty of that. That's why, to me, that excuse is kind of invalid, because every single person has that excuse, whether you believe in the Bible or not. That was my thing. Right. It's my God. I got my own relationship with God. I could joke with God, I could talk with him, I could do whatever. You know, I have this guy in my mind that was cool with everything I do, and he forgive me because he know my heart. But the problem is, 'cause that's what everybody say. God knows my heart. That's the issue, is that he really knows your
that's
heart.
what they
though.
all say. God knows my heart.
That's really the issue, though, is
I'm
him
like, what?
knowing your heart, though. Like he knows what needs to change. Like,
And just like Marcus said, what God do you serve?
yeah, because I don't know. I just don't understand how. Because God didn't turn me away from like murder and all that, but whatever he turned me away from is good enough for me to talk about him every single day.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know what else is there good enough to even really talk about, like, other than, you know, our personal life. But it's like,
Right.
some people, it's like y'all God only pop up when somebody else mentions Jesus. That's the only time people's God pop up in a conversation.
I definitely noticed that. I don't really see, you don't see people like that are not followers. I don't see non-followers of Christ like talking about God, like how they only talk about him when Jesus is brought up. That's definitely true. I don't see that. I don't really see no other religions even talking about their God. I don't see any of that.
I do
at
see
all.
Muslims
like,
though. Like I do see some
I don't
Muslims and
see-
stuff like on Instagram and all that, but not
I don't
often though. But
see
maybe
that.
but it's probably an algorithm thing too though.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
It could be an algorithm thing.
True.
But to me, Muslims are so close to Christians to me. Because it's the same. I use kind of the same people, kind of some of the same book, the same Jesus, similar ideas, but it's like clearly someone came after Christianity and took it, spent it, put a twist on it, and started his own thing, started getting people to follow it.
I just don't understand the scale thing. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know how much a murder weigh. So I don't understand that. So
Yeah.
I kind of just leave it right there. But we all love y'all, you know. I love y'all, but I definitely do not see. I'm gonna let y'all know because I got a lot of friends that's on my Facebook that's, you know, other religions, but I don't see them talking about it.
People are so.
I feel like it's more like a secret. Like it's more like an in-house thing. Like why would that have to be an in-house thing? I don't know.
What you serve and all that?
Yeah, like it seems like it's more like a secret. Like the
selfishness actually is
You
what
think
it
so?
seems like. A lot of people get into the word to serve they self, not the Bible as far as the word, but spirituality. Who is it serving? That person, trying to empower that person and that person only.
I think people be afraid.
What you mean?
I think they be afraid of what other people might think. I think that's why
that's
they
true,
don't. You know what I'm saying? They don't worship their God like they're supposed to. But when it comes, I ain't afraid. Like I said, I already let people know a long time ago. Like I'm gonna keep praising him every day. If y'all don't like it, y'all can unfollow me because I got a lot of people waiting to be my friend on Facebook and Instagram and stuff. But like I just can never let nobody stop me from praising my God, my like Jesus. That's something that's so good to me. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I can't, like I'm gonna tell everybody until I'm blue in the face, but I really feel like people are afraid. I've seen people start, you know what I'm saying, when they first join and when they first, you know what I'm saying, convert over, they'll, you know what I'm saying, they'll talk about it just for a little bit and then it just fades away. Like, and it's kind of like going in the shadows. And I think that's because of they paying attention to what other people might react to it. Like if they don't disagree, and I think they let it get to your head, but your faith have to be strong to not let that happen, to not let nobody stop you from, you know what I'm saying, from praising something that you believe in. I wouldn't do it. Not me.
This whole Christianity thing is crazy. Now that I'm here looking at it, and just how it is, like people do not like hearing the truth, yo. Like, and I don't think none of the biblical, like, none of the laws in the Bible are like far fetched. Like, all of them are like pretty much common sense for real, for real.
Yeah.
And the fact that grown adult humans still want to be so rebellious that you can't follow certain rules shows me like the state of the world that we live in.
Yeah, I mean, so if somebody, I guess, pointed out your flaws or where you fell at, how would you, as like a Christian, be able to deal with that?
It ain't even nothing I got to deal with, because at the end of the day, I'm most of the time aware. Like, even before I became a Christian, I was aware of my faults. You know what I'm saying? Some of them. But it's like becoming a Christian pretty much magnified everything. So it's like, imagine looking at your wrongs from far away, and then God coming in like, okay, you can't just call that lie a little lie, because that lie done deceive you. Now the lie told you, you don't want to tell somebody else that lie, and it just goes on as poisonous. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it just magnified like the wrong that I was doing in my life. But I always was a person who would look in the mirror and self check myself. Like, I never was it's everybody's fault I'm not on. It's like every now and then I had that moment like, Rick, you're lazy as a mug. Like, you know what I'm saying? You need to get up. You need to do this. You need to shoot videos. You need to get over your confidence. Like, you know, I talk to myself, but if I'm loud and wrong, then I'm wrong. Like, cause I don't even plan on being right all the time. My goal as a Christian isn't to be right at all. My goal is to love everybody the same way God loved me.
Right. Well, would you say that it's easier for you now to admit your flaws than it was before?
I mean, I don't want to say
openly.
Yeah, I mean, depends on what we're talking about, because it's like me admitting my flaws. Like, if I cheated on you or something, right? Am I just going to hop on the podcast and talk about that? Is that like openly admitting it?
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like, under what context is it? Like, if it's, babe, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that, you know, in private or something. I'm wrong for that. I should have been more, you know, calm. Yeah, I can admit my flaws. That's the question. Yeah.
Yeah. So now it seems like a lot more easier than it did before.
And it's mandatory at the end of the day.
It's mandatory.
As far as me and my relationship with God and how it go with the Bible, it's mandatory, because I can't come to him at night repenting if I haven't pretty much said sorry to you for what I've done, or for any offense that I still be holding on to. Like, you might did something that aggravated me, made me upset, and it says, you know what I'm saying, you have to go forgive that person before you want to even come be forgiven. So it's kind of automatic for me at this point.
I wish that people could understand that side too. It's like, you know, I feel like when normally, like, growing up as children to adults, to teenagers to adults, it's like when you do something wrong, it's kind of like you're being penalized, you know. And I feel like growing up, that kind of stays with you. It kind of lingers for a long time, longer than it should. But I noticed that with Christianity is like, you know, when you know what I'm saying, when you give your life to Jesus, when you live your life to Christ, it's a little different. It's like, yeah, like you might have made a mistake, but this mistake should not go until tomorrow or the next day, or the next day or the next day. And I just wish that people knew that, because I think that if they knew that, they would be a lot more accepting to, you know, taking self accountability and admitting when they're wrong. Because I feel like a lot of people think that, you know, if you say, well, I'm a cheater, or, you know, I'm just throwing it out there, I'm a cheater, I'm an alcoholic, I'm addicted to pornography, whatever the case may be, they feel like that stain lingers, because that's what people mainly would do. You know, they'll hold that against you. Like how Marcus was saying before, like, you know, they will still hold you to that ID, to that address, and that's no longer your address anymore. So I just wish that people knew that, because if they knew that, I feel like they would be more accepting to, you know what I'm saying, giving their life over, versus then thinking that, you know, if people find out these things about them, that, you know, they're going to be looked at in a certain way. Like, we all make mistakes. We're all human. Like, we all done some of the dirtiest things, you know what I'm saying, behind closed doors. But it's just like, that stain doesn't have to go into tomorrow and the next day and the next day.
Right. That's, yeah, that make sense and stuff. I think this thing comes way more from self-guilt, like knowing the stuff you do, than it does from outside, like, opinions. I feel like outside opinions kind of just like add on to what you already.
I mean, look at when we was younger, like, and I'm even a mom, and I've done it plenty of times, like, and probably still do, like, you know, when you do something as a child, you know, everybody in the family knows. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
that is true too.
literally, and I've done that. Like as a mom, I've done it. I've had that done to me as a child.
You call
And
everybody. So like, girl,
yeah,
let me tell you what this girl done
I'm
did.
mad as a mug. Because next thing you know, my grandma hear it. Now my aunt know. Now my grand aunt know. Now my daddy know. Now his mama know. Like everybody knows. So it's just like that. Like I said, that thing lingers. You know what I mean? But I feel like, you know, it doesn't now. Like when you give your life to Christ, like it's not like that. Like me, I remember before, like when me and you used to, you know, have our disagreements and we used to argue, them things used to last for like days. Like we used to be at war for days, like literally days. Like
I stopped telling my people my business, and it ain't really had nothing to do with them. It was never nothing that had nothing to do with them. They were just someone I can vent to, because the person I'm with, we're not talking right now. We at each other's necks, but I regret ever just telling my business to them, for the simple fact that I know it has a lot to do with where your relationship is at to this day. You know what I'm saying? Had I made it my mission to tell them the good things you done, everything probably would be different. Like the family probably be a lot tighter. You know what I mean? Just overall care for each other, like support for Riley and stuff like that. So like, and this, I'm not saying it to let them off the hook either, because one of the things I always point out in my family is like, excuse me, everybody. Excuse me again. I know everybody business, but the thing I don't do is go attack the person that they have the issue with. Like, if my mom has an issue with someone, I'll hear my mom out, and that just is what it is. I talk to her. My sister got an issue with her dude she dealing with, I talk to that person. But for some reason, my whole life, whenever I bring issues to the table, somehow the person I have the issue with and the family ends up getting the communication, and it just goes left from that point.
Right. I've never.
And it's my fault though. At the end of the day,
the only person that gave me good advice, I would say, was my grandma. Like,
for real?
Yeah, like, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like, if I was to rob a bank and I call my grandma gonna be like, you know what, baby, that bank probably deserved to get robbed. But not to be funny, but like for real, like she was the only person that gave me good advice, like some type of good advice. Like, but like anytime when I would come to like, you know, my family about like my situations or, you know, the stuff that I was going through, like it was just always just like adding fuel to the flame. Like it was always adding fuel to the flame. Like, and I didn't like that. And like, I'll never forget that day where I had called live, because I'm going to tell y'all what was happening. I'm going to be honest with y'all, okay? So this was back when, you know, I was kind of dibbling and dabbling. I still had my little crystals in the house, even though I won't use them. I still had them in the house. But Rick he was reading the Bible, and I had so many questions about the Bible, y'all, and I was just not trying to hear it. And I was being stubborn, but it was something in me like, you know, just listen. But when I talked to Live and I was explaining to him what was going on, like, for one, he was just so excited and just so happy for one. And I was just like, you know, like, this is not the type of conversation for that right now, but he was. And then before he got off the phone, like, he prayed for me. And that was different, because I'm like, dang, like, ain't nobody never pray for me. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, when I'm going through stuff, like, it's more so like, yeah, F that. You know what I'm saying? Like, F him, F her, you know, like, forget them kids. Like, it's just always that, but it's just never like, you know what, let me pray for you right now.
Serious prayer, too.
Like a serious prayer. Like, that's a serious prayer. Like, I love you. Like, and I'm just like, whoa, like, that's different. Like, and that's what really made me want to chase it. Because I'm like, I never had that before. Like, what is that? Like, how can somebody, you know what I'm saying, not know you? You know, listen to you venting and telling them, you know, everything that you got going on. They're not judging you. They're not talking about the other person that you're talking about. They just want to pray for you.
Right. They don't even engage.
He
don't even let me talk about you. It's always about me. He'll hear it out, but we don't. The conversation don't stay on you. Conversation stay on me.
It's never that. It's just
what I need to do.
It's never that. It's just like, let me just pray for sis.
And I think what's crazy is like, I give Marcus a lot of credit all the time, because Marcus showed up. Well, he, like I said, I knew him for a minute, but seeing the fruits of what he did is intriguing, because I'm like, yo, this dude got a whole church at this point. When I remember videos of him praying about it and things happening.
Yeah.
And I always see him as a dad, take care of his family and stuff like that. But Marcus is always such in work mode. Like, you get a joke every now and then, but with live is like a real living expression of what Christ may be like. Like at every moment, like always smiling, always happy, always got the good advice. So I was just thinking about that in church today. Is like, I give Marcus a lot of credit for sure, but I have to start giving live more credit where it's due, because his expression of Christ is one of the things that intrigued me to actually want to do it too. You know what I'm saying? Like Marcus, and like it's always peace and stuff with Marcus, but that overly super joyful thing that live got, I'm like, oh yeah, I need that.
I'm telling you, like when I never had that, and I'm like, whoa, like what is that? And
people forget, like a lot of people I talk to as Christians, like it's either they don't have the right revelation, because sometimes I really try not to judge people because I don't think people have the right revelation. I know I'm early in it, but I feel like God be hitting me with some super revelations and stuff you need to know early, like Christian conduct, like as far as like, I've been knowing about Jesus my whole life, but I never know my job was to manifest God in real life. In fact, the first time I heard about manifest came from some law of attraction, where it's like, if you think of a Ferrari, you're going to get a Ferrari. Yes, you're going to get the Ferrari. That's what I thought manifestation was. But now I know manifestation is, I guess, is to make come true, or to make come to life, or to make it be known. You know what I'm saying? So live does a great job at making Christ be known in situations where he shouldn't or he wouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's, I guess, revelation through live, I guess. But that's how I want to be. I want to show up at a time where nobody least expects a Christian to stand up and just be like, just stand up and just love everybody. Like, yo, you need to fix your marriage. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that dude that we met at the store, I feel like I from the laundromat that I ministered to for the first time. I feel like God, it was like watering that seed when he made us run to each other at the store that day. Can
you explain that a little bit? Because I know you've seen him 2 times.
All right, yeah. So the first time, I think we was finna go out of town again, right? Yeah. Well, we went St. Thomas. Yeah, I was washing clothes before St. Thomas. Yeah, St. Thomas. Okay, so I was washing clothes at a laundromat. And usually I go up there, I either play the game or I take the Bible. This time I took the Bible, but for some reason I couldn't sit down and get into it. I just couldn't for some reason. So I put my headphones on, I went outside, started performing my music. And a lot of times when I'm in situations like that, I always think of what my purpose on earth to do, which is to pull people out of darkness. You know what I mean? So in my mind, that means street evangelizing, not necessarily preaching, but at least like nudging somebody, like, you know, Jesus love you, you know what I'm saying? Like starting the conversation. So that's something I've always been afraid to do. Just confidence wise, I've been afraid. That's why what Daniel was saying earlier was kind of like, yeah, we gotta talk about that too. Yeah, so but yeah, so I was just in the parking lot, like just rapping my music out loud. I had my headphones on, and I guess some dude, that guy, seen me rapping the music, but he didn't say nothing. I rapped about probably like 10 songs. So when I finally went back in and sat down and started reading and highlighting in the Bible, he just, I looked up, he was kind of standing over top of me like, yo, what you got going on? Like, and I ain't, I don't know what's going on. I told you I don't like being like a known person, even though it contradicts what I do with my life. But because it's just, you never know. Like, and I'm so used to people threatening me and threatening my life. You so used to be on
that other side.
Yeah, my life just always got threatened my whole. So anytime I see somebody that I don't recognize, I'm automatically being almost like defense mode kind of. So I'm just looking. I'm like, yeah, I'm just reading the Bible. He was like, yeah, I seen you out there. Like, I figured you had to rap or something. I heard one song. I'm like, okay, he just vibing. And he's like, I heard 2 songs. You rap 2 songs. Like, okay, he got a story to tell. So I guess it just made me seem interesting or whatever. So he pulled up. We start talking a little bit, and then he indicated that he was going through a divorce and everything. So and live told me too, like, once you create conversation with people, they'll let you know if they need some healing, like by the things they say. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so the first thing come out of his mouth is his 17-year divorce. They let me know that it's hurting him on the inside. So I just started asking him questions.
Wait, so he going through a divorce?
I guess they getting one. Him and Shorty,
but he been with her for 17 years.
Yeah, they've been together for been married 14, been together for 17.
Okay.
Got kids, the whole 9. And yeah, he just let me know it was going negative, and I'm just like, yo, you know, do you want to let it go? Are y'all really gonna let this thing go?
Mm-hmm.
And that was like my door to open for God, and I gave him Corinthians. I'm trying to remember. I want to say Corinthians 11. I'm trying to get good at doing that.
Man, I know, because they be throwing them verses out. I'll be like, hold on.
But it's the verse about love in Corinthians.
There.
You know what I'm saying? And I was just telling him like, yo, 17 years is a long time to throw away with somebody, and then the whole time y'all been thinking y'all love each other for 17 years, but I can show you and prove to you that you haven't.
Right.
And had y'all done things this way, we wouldn't be having this conversation. So, and I just kept reminding him like, yo, this not an accident. You know what I'm saying? I know you came across the Bible.
An accident.
Yeah, I'm like, I know people done talked you out of the Bible and all that, because he know a little bit of the word. He was telling me stuff. I'm like, oh, so you know what's going on, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, yo, it's easy to get tricked up out of it, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, this is the only thing that's gonna feed you.
But you really told him it's not an accident.
It can't be.
That's what you told him?
Yeah. And I was like, yo, next time I see you, I at least want to hear a verse. I want to hear that you've been reading or something, you know what I'm saying? Even though the store wasn't the right time to do it, but I texted him because he was just on my mind with that. Like, bro, you've been on my mind. You know what I'm saying? I just reminded him again. I said, yo, it wasn't an accident. You know what I'm saying? Like, out of all people, God had me at the laundromat. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just wasn't a mistake. I did not know you
said that to him.
Yeah, I told him.
Wow.
Because I don't want him to, because I know what it can do for people. Like, it's not a game. Like, that's what makes me so mad sometimes when and I'm not literally be mad, but it's just like,
I get you.
Like with my friends, it's like, yo, like y'all took my word on everything before I became a Christian. Like, y'all would call me for all y'all advice, women problems, when I didn't have nothing but worldly advice. But now I finally have some good gospel for you, like something that's really true for you that's gonna benefit you, and nobody wants it. Yeah.
Cause I mean, it's self accountability, but it just stood out to me that you told him it wasn't an accident because you seen him today.
He said it himself today.
So I know he probably was thinking in his head when you said, like, this is not an accident.
Yeah.
You ran into him again.
Yeah.
That's dope. So I wanted to go back because I know we kind of got off the subject a little bit. But I wanted to go back with the No Flesh conference.
Right.
Let's go back to there. So, I'm going to just say this. Marcus Rogers turned up.
Yeah, Marcus is lit.
Marcus turned up. Okay, like,
drink some of this for us,
oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Let me tell y'all. So, I was sitting in the back. I was in the front, but I had to go check on Riley because Riley was in daycare and up in the front. So, I went to the back. I sat in the back just listening to the word because I just wanted to make sure that, just in case somebody would try to find me or whatever, I had to go, make sure Riley was good again. When Marcus got on that stage and he started giving the word, I got up on my seat, y'all, and I went to the front. Like, it was so good. Like, he was on fire. Like, I'm talking about, like, what? That's why he don't talk too much. He don't got to say much. Like, he don't got to say much at all. Like, I'm talking about he was turned. He was on a whole another one. And he was just really like, he really like touched me. Like, seriously, like, I was like, wow, like, he definitely anointed.
Yeah, the stuff bro do don't be normal.
Yeah, it's definitely not normal. Definitely shout out to you, Marcus. Like, I love Marcus Rogers. Like, he's definitely been a blessing in our lives. Like, I remember him coming around, and I remember all the secular artists that you used to record. I remember when the Christian artists used to come, and it used to always be just a whole different vibe. Like, it was so peaceful, and so I really appreciate him. Definitely did his thing today. I can't wait to see what he gonna do tomorrow and Sunday. But I definitely wanted to go back to Daniel Adams because he had me in tears. Definitely had me in tears. And he had is it called a prophecy?
Yeah.
Is it a prophecy? Okay, I'm learning something. He had a prophecy. He had a prophecy for you. So you want to talk about that?
I mean, I'm gonna just talk about as much as I remember. I don't remember everything he said, but he was definitely on point. And I was trying not to cry a little bit because it was so on point. Like, it was so on point. Like, and it was just everything I think about all the time. I don't know how he was able to sum it up in the 3-minute prophecy, but he was able to do it. And I don't know how much he know. I don't know who talked to him about me. It may just be him hearing what I'm saying in the music and all of that. Probably seeing my posture, because I feel like I probably gave off a little bit of shyness when I got on stage today, which is typical for me. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
I don't know. Everything was just spot on. Like, it was shocking a little bit. But, you know, one thing I did read in the Bible is that once somebody gives you prophecy, you run towards that goal. Like, because it kind of becomes a goal at that point. It's like, don't just let somebody speak into your life and then
you just don't do nothing with it. You start going.
So if he say he's seen a long script, I get halfway and I stop, but it's gonna be finished. That means I need to finish because I know what he was saying to me. So it's like I just have to turn that gear back on, and then it's just the stuff that touched me a lot is like, because I always, before Christian, like a lot of stuff was before Christian, but before I became a Christian, I always felt like me, in my head, how I summed it up was all the opportunities I missed would come on one big check. Mm-hmm. So a lot of things I did, like with the MMG thing, a lot of that stuff could have been me and should have been me in a lot of these situations.
But it was never you.
I'm just saying, it was like, it was never me. It was always someone that I helped get there, or, you know, some music I was doing or something. And I don't know, typically a person probably would like take it on the chin and be bitter, but in my heart, it was always like, I'm gonna get what's mine. You know what I'm saying? No matter what age I get to, because, you know, I had Rich by 30. 30 came around, I didn't get it, but it was like I always had some type of confidence that.
You still 30 though.
I mean, either way, I want to be rich by 30. I was like 24 or 25 30. When I made it. You know what I'm saying? Though. But either way, getting rich ain't even a goal no more. So.
Yeah.
But and that song wasn't even really a song. That song was a commercial for a clothing company. It was never supposed to be a real song. Like,
you learn something new every day, don't you?
I never even liked the song, to be honest. Like,
wow.
And it just was my biggest song. But
so Rick Rogers didn't even like Rich by 30.
It was a good song. I made the beat. Don't get me wrong, but out of all the songs in my catalog, this will be the last one I'm pushing. But
I get it.
Yeah. So for him to say that everything, like, don't think because it didn't happen that you're not gonna be rewarded, kind of along the lines of that, that touched me a lot too.
I want to say my piece on that. So when he was talking to you and he was prophesying to you, like, it brought tears to my eyes. Like, I couldn't fight. I was crying like a baby. First of all, I was crying because I seen Live crying. He was just crying like a big baby when he was on stage, him and Jade.
He was crying up there?
Yes.
I was standing right next to him and didn't notice he was crying.
He was bawling. I'm over here, tears, my eyes watering because I'm watching. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I'm already emotional. But when Daniel Adams started to talk to you, I started crying because, like, just in my 7 years of knowing you, like, just the way you came into my life, like, you were always different than the guys I talked to. All I wanted to record with you, like, different than everything. So you was always different. You was always that one to me. So I know that you remember, like, a lot of times where, you know, when people overlooked you, like, it used to make me very angry. And I used to say certain things. Somebody used to be like, man, you can't be saying that to these dudes. You can't be saying, I don't care about them. Like, I'm going to speak because, like, you know, I'm standing up for what's right. Like, y'all not about to be treating him like that. But I just, like, it really hit me because at some point during them 7 years, I realized that lifestyle, that right there, that wasn't for you. It just wasn't what you were supposed to be doing. And the confirmation also came where I don't know the guy, but when you had told me that the guy also said it himself of why you didn't get into the industry, why you didn't get signed. And so that was like the confirmation for me. And so when, you know, we started to, you know, when you started to record more and more with Marcus, and then we started noticing like the difference, like I already knew from right there that that's where you were supposed to be. That's where you're supposed to be all along. And I'm so thankful for God that it did not work out in any of them times.
Right.
The Rich by 30, the MMG, the other one, I forgot the other one, no parole, whatever. I'm glad near one of them situations did not work out, because I feel like the devil would have been
like a
happy as I don't know
bigger
what
ditch to dig myself out.
I'm telling you, and it's just like I could see, like, with where we're at now, like, you're going to change the industry, because a lot of people don't know that we could praise God on an 804 beat. Like, a lot of people don't know that we can get drippy with the music. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't know that. They just think that, it's just gospel. Like, oh, yeah. That old school, I call it slave music. Don't judge me. I'm sorry. But, it's kind of boring. I'm not going to hold you. I'm going to tell you. I can't. I'm sorry. That's not my time. I'm a 90s baby. I don't like that type of stuff. But, people don't think that we can actually, like, really, like, people really can be running it on the beat talking about Jesus. Like, it's like this one song by Big Breeze that I like. It's on that layup beat by Future. And they running it. Like, they just running it. Like, he nice. People don't know that. You know what I'm saying? So I know for a fact when I listen to the music, I even remember when you said, I don't know if I'm gonna sound the same. Like, I don't know if I'm like, man, you Rick Rogers, like, you could do it. Like, you're gonna change the industry.
I don't know how you not tired, yo.
You're gonna change the industry. I don't know, because I'm talking about God. I'm talking about my husband, and I was tired, but I feel like
you back up now.
I'm back up again, but I don't know. I don't want to keep it too long, but it just touched me.
How you feel about what he was saying about you?
I feel like somebody told him. No, I'm joking.
Or maybe he might have seen it or something.
He probably seen it. I mean, that's not. Zoe said the same thing, so I don't know. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's my presence.
Oh yeah, because that was before you put it out.
Before I even said anything. So, I don't know. You talking about the witchcraft?
Yeah, it was kind of spot on.
Oh, it was definitely spot on. The witchcraft and just like that weight. That's what really got to me, like the witchcraft and the weight, because I just been through a lot, but I don't know. I feel like that was like God talking to me, because while I'm sitting in the sideline crying about you, I'm thinking, like, he was like, talk to God. Like, I'm talking to God, like, just please show me, like, just please, like, talk to me, like. And next thing you know, he's like, where's your wife? And I'm like, my heart just almost dropped out my chest, because I'm like, wait, I wasn't ready, like. But I needed that. I definitely needed that. And what's so crazy is I just don't feel like I have a big burden on my shoulders anymore. I don't feel that way.
When he said something about writing the book and actually really writing the book, all I could think about was when you was trying to write the book, right? And you didn't want to keep it all the way.
I held back. Yeah. So yeah, that definitely confirmed that, I definitely need to share my testimony. I mean, because it don't seem like I've been through a lot, but sheesh, it's been a lot that happened. So definitely something that I need to work on. I know for a fact that my story would definitely bring a lot more people closer to Christ and save a lot of souls. So something I'm definitely gonna be working on. You tired as a mug right
I'm
there.
definitely tired. So No Flesh is a 3-day weekend. We got through day 1.
Yeah, you need to shake that stuff.
I'm tired. I can't shake this off. I ain't gonna fall asleep in the middle of the podcast though, but I am, like, I'm ready to fall out.
What time is it? So time check, y'all. It is. Hold on, I'm about to tell y'all.
Like 3:30.
All right, it's 3:20 in the morning. So, just to let y'all know, this is how determined we was. I forced my husband to do this because we made a promise to one another that we was gonna push. Okay, so we literally been on the road. We've been up since 6 o'clock.
It was 8 actually.
We've been up since 8 o'clock. We got on the road at 3 o'clock. Got here at 7. Rick literally came in the building and started performing. Had Riley in his arms. Soon as he walked in, live seen him, caught him.
I want to see footage of that jump. Man.
But yes, and then
I performed my song without my words today.
Yes, And so unfortunately, I was trying to find a parking spot because y'all know how in the city, if you in New York, if you in Baltimore, if you in Chicago, you can't find no parking. Virginia would never. I'm just letting y'all know, Virginia would never. But I could not find a parking spot. And so while I'm looking for a parking spot, my husband is on stage performing. I seen the clip. He did really, really, really good. And I'm so, so proud of you. How did you feel?
I felt good for real. It was, I told you, depending on the song, whether I would do it or not, but the issue is when you sing with auto-tune, it's such a perfect pitch. Like, it's like a robotic pitch that you can't probably do naturally at all. So trying to perform a song with that in mind is hard. But when there's no music, I'm naturally a good rapper. Like, I can spit any song to any beat and make it go to the beat as if I wrote it. So that's what it's like when I perform without the music. I wish I knew the band could have picked it up and played it how they did at the end of it, because they actually start playing the beat at the end. I wish I would have known that, or I should have communicated it better. You know what I'm saying? But that would have been fire if the band would have played it and I still rap that jump.
Oh yeah,
but I rapped the whole song. Like, no hook was on it, no ad-libs, no nothing. Like, I was floating through that jump.
I'm proud of you because as you start to walk into this Rick Rogers artist, the artist that you have been dreaming of, this is what I see of you. I see you really just like really performing your songs without the words, without the lyrics, like you, because you do it good. I watch you, I listen to you. You have a beautiful voice. So yeah, I just think that this is going to take you to a whole nother level.
Yeah, I'm ready. Prophecies after prophecies over my life, just continuing to.
Yeah. And I'm going to be the videographer. You know what I'm saying?
It's like my man, Ray Duggar, told me when he came to the crib, he said, your ministry is going to be music.
Absolutely.
Like, you're going to have a flock of people being saved specifically from your music. A lot of people are going to be getting the word from your music. So.
Well, it's crazy because that's how it was on the other side, but it was a little different. They just weren't getting saved. But yeah, I remember a lot of people say, you know, you saved me from suicide, and you know, so it's gonna get even better. Mm-hmm. God definitely is gonna replace that tenfold. So I'm excited about that. I can't wait to see your journey. You know, I'm your biggest fan. And I'm always going to support you. I'm going to hold the camera. I'm going to make sure you drippy. I'm going to make sure you're looking like the papito.
We definitely got to get another video. I think I'm about to just shoot one now with the mic right here.
Yeah, I'm ready.
After this over with, I probably just...
Oh, you got a little energy for it?
Get the phone.
You got a little...
I mean, yeah, I can.
You got a little...
It's kind of hard to bounce on the bed because the bed's so bouncy.
Not the bed so bouncy.
I mean, it's because you can't... Like, how you want to bounce and how the bed bounces, you don't match with the music.
Right.
But I'm going to probably just sit here and rap something and then put it together on CapCut just to be dropping something tomorrow.
Okay. And one more thing I want to talk about before we get off of here. I don't think we talked about it on our old... Nope, we didn't talk about it on our podcast, but we did have our first Bible study.
Oh, yeah, we actually didn't talk about it because we was talking about... It was before we had it.
Yes, so we did have our first Bible study this past Wednesday. How was that for you?
It was life to me. My favorite part was the prayer at the end, because I didn't know I could go that fast and just talk that fast. And
shoot, you
so
be amazed.
meaningful, like I was going crazy. But
yes, you did.
I don't know. My only thing with Bible study is I wish we need to give ourselves like 3-4 hour blocks to do it, because I'll never be ready to stop doing it. Like, it's like, when is a good time to stop, like, learning this? And then I love the fact that when we did it with Brittany, because, well, for one, she my family, so it's like, seeing the change in her all around is just crazy to me, because I remember 2-3 years ago, she was the person that's like... Very quiet, but she still had opinions about entrepreneurship and stuff. She's like, everybody don't want to be an entrepreneur and this and that or this or that. Then the book came, and when she was putting out the book, I don't even think she had plans on trying to, like, she didn't know nothing about marketing it and all of that stuff like that. So to see her go from that to where she's at right now, and then I always thought she knew about Jesus Christ. I always thought Brittany had some type of, you know, faith in her, but that was just seeing her from a distance, because me and my family, we close, but we're not close. Everybody, we grew up together, we dance together, but everybody got their own life. And it's like, I'm not in their personal space, you know what I'm saying? So just seeing her podcast, she got this episode about depression and stuff like that. And it's like, I was so hurt watching it that I couldn't even watch it all the way. Like, I still want to go back and watch it, but I really couldn't, because I'm like, yeah, it's just like, dang, I feel like I'm failing my family. That's how I felt in the moment. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because I know now through Christ, I needed somebody for me. So seeing her and her depression and whatever she was going through, she needed somebody there for her too. You know what I'm saying? I could have been there for her, at least a phone call every now and then. I don't do that at all. So that was something I was dealing with on the inside. But okay, so to learn that she found her way back to God in her darkest moments was like, okay, I'm gonna take this opportunity that God is using to build this relationship with my cousin. You know what I'm saying? Because out of all the kids, me and Brittany was the ones who was kind of like eye to eye, just a teeny bit. We was kind of a little bit different than everybody else, like just slightly. You know what I'm saying? More like bookish, nerdish type of thing. We always had that going on. So that's why it don't surprise me that I rap and she do poetry and we mad deep with words. It doesn't surprise me that it's me and her that's like that. You know what I'm saying? But just being able to Bible study with her, because not that I feel like I'm an elite with the word, nothing like that, but I be knowing what I be knowing when I be knowing it. You know what I'm saying? And I know I'm good with breaking it down. So I was happy we was able to Bible study with her, and I think my confirmation of it was her response to it. Like, this is one of the best Bible studies I've ever had. Like, and this is our first one, so I'm like, okay, we must have really did something good.
Yeah, I definitely I'm definitely like proud of her. I'm so proud of her. I haven't been in her life for a very long time, but from what I've known of her before, and I look at her now, like, it's like a totally different person, you know, but in a good way. Like, I'm happy to see her, like, actually, like, just spread her wings and just fly. Like, just hearing her say, like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm just going. I'm just like, yeah, like, that's good. Like, that's where we at. That's pretty much what we've been doing, you know? So I'm just proud of her. And I'm just, Bible study just was, Riley is gassy. Excuse me, y'all. Riley is gassy.
They can see it over there?
No, I'm sorry, y'all, but if y'all hear like little noises in the background, that's Riley. She is, I don't know what she ate, but she's poutine, okay?
Vladimir Putin.
But yeah, like, I'm just so proud of her, because like, just to see her grow, she's definitely stepping out there, like, on faith, and she's definitely putting God first, trusting in him. And it looks good on her, you know. It definitely looks good on her, and I know she feels good inside. And so, cuz Brittany, I'm so proud of you, and just keep going. Bible study was everything. I thank you for that. It felt good to, you know, like, it's always me and you. Not saying that I don't like it being just me and you, because I love you, of course, but just to have somebody else in our home, like, we never had that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would definitely love to open up our home and just have other people around for Bible study, you know.
It's crazy what made me do it. I did it right after I talked to Jair that day.
Oh, yeah.
Because the last thing I said to Jair was like, yo, we're not going to let the devil steal the rest of your childhood. You know what I'm saying? And it just made me think of my cousin and her depression and stuff. I'm like, yo, the devil really took our childhood, like, from us for real. Like, he deceived us for, like, our whole junk. So I was just like, yo, I was calling her like, yo, I mean, I feel like the Holy Spirit told me to call you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, just saying this is our opportunity to be closer, because we clearly weren't there for each other like we could have been. And I was like, you know, I feel like the best way to do it is through Bible study. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know, I'm ready to take back all the years he took from us. You know what I'm saying? We need to spend the rest of our years, like, doing something beneficial for us and for other people in the world. Because I don't think she knew. I could be wrong, but I don't think she knew the part about us having to get out here and share the good news. It's like, okay, pulled you out of darkness, but we can't sit and just be the only one sitting in the light. We have to go out here and really hug and love on these people for real. The same way we needed it, we had to return that favor.
I definitely been seeing her very active on social media, especially with the girls that I introduced her to, my girls. And I definitely love that because I see her responding on a lot of posts about posts about Jesus and stuff, and I'm like, okay, okay, like she, what I'm saying, she coming around, she getting it, but yeah, bless you. But I mean, I guess we can cut this short if you want. Oh, it's about to fall anyway. But yes, you guys. So, I'm just so thankful. I feel so good. I don't know. I just feel so good. I feel like God is guiding. That's what I've been saying. I said God is guiding. Oh, and one of the things I said was, I am not the driver. That needs to be a podcast title. One of these titles, I am not the driver. And don't y'all go steal my title either, because I ain't gonna like that.
Facts, but yeah, so I guess look, we in Baltimore. This life that God got us on.
We stay on the road.
Barely ever home. I don't even know how I'm managing to be a father with a child at home that goes to school and still kind of getting it done. Not the best at it, but I'm kind of getting it done. But we literally been on the road like at least like we rarely home for a week for us, either like every 2 weeks or like every week. Yeah. And based on the prophecies that I got today, I don't think it's going to stop. When and Karen dropped this mixtape, it's definitely going to go crazy. It's going to go up.
Yeah.
And then I got Rick and Miyagi 4.
What about the visuals on those?
It's all in God's time. It's like I've been saying.
Where is he at?
With everything. He in Houston.
He in Houston?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta go.
It ain't nothing to go out there though. He cool. He
I'm about to say because his wife is a videographer too. So
he accept me like as somebody that I can reach out to all the time. So
that's dope.
Yeah,
I can't wait for that.
So
I'm excited about that.
With everything else, every time you ask me, it's gonna work out. It's gonna. You be like, you need to do videos. I'm like, it's gonna. All right, it's gonna happen. Like God is bringing it like all the way back around. Like I told you, I feel like how I felt when I first started. I feel like I have that spark again, like 'cause I lost it.
And that's what I've been wanting from you. When you tell me I used to do this, I used to do that. I'm like, man, I need that back, and I really feel like it's getting back.
I just burned myself out because I was doing it for everybody. Like I was doing everything for everybody, and then I still was managing to do stuff for myself. And then it do hurt a little bit that everybody I work for get the big breaks, and then I don't.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at it, it wasn't.
Now I can look at it like that, but I'm just saying in the moment, it always hurt a little bit because it's like, dang, like even to this day, like people get recognition for stuff that I done, like, and I get it, I did it for you, but like most of the stuff that I do, people can't even brag or acknowledge me for it because then it takes away from who they are. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I know one thing, in this world that we're in, the follow that we have now, like I've noticed that everybody gives you your flowers. Mm-hmm. Everybody gives you your flowers. It's not no secret. They don't have to hide it. They're not, you know what I'm saying, keeping it, from everyone because they want to be on top. Like it's just pure love. And I love that. Like people let you know anywhere you go, you the man. Like you that one, like you that one, like, and I love that for you. I love that for you because I feel like you need to hear that, and I feel like it took the right people to appreciate that. And I just feel like God is so good, man. He's just so good. Like I'm telling you, like, well, I don't know the Bible verse that says so. If you're looking at this, please put it in the comments. But I know it's a verse in the Bible where he tell you like. Anything that is taken away from you can be like replaced tenfold. And I don't know where that's at in the Bible, but I've heard that before. And I just see he's doing it. And it's like we think it's good now, but like imagine when it really gets to where he wanted to be, like that's gonna be crazy.
That's my thing. I was thinking about it earlier.
That's gonna be crazy.
My whole thing nowadays is like wake up. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing, but God, whatever you trying to do, I'm trying to do it too.
You're not the driver.
Right, I'm trying to do whatever you trying to do.
I'm telling you, and I'm so excited about this
Get these microphones, bro. We straight podcasting in the hotel
I'm
right
so
now.
excited about this thing that we have coming to Virginia in August. I really feel like that's really going to touch the 757 in a whole different way.
Facts. I drank the whole crush.
It's okay. I'm gonna drink the last bit, but I really feel like it's going to touch Virginia in a whole different way, and I'm really excited about it because I know that our city needs it. And I'm just like I said, I'm not the driver, so I'm in the back seat, and God got the wheel. Jesus take the wheel. He got it.
Amen. If you want,
Yep, that's
close
it.
it out with a prayer.
Closing out. All right, go ahead, Rick.
You pray. I'll pray if you want me to.
Yes.
But I want you to. I'll pray. All right. So, Father God, we come to you in this hotel right now at 3:30, 3:40 in the morning. Still being obedient to what we're trying to do with this podcast. I'm almost sure I have your stamp of approval on this podcast because we don't do nothing but get up here and just be vulnerable. We don't try to be perfect. We just being vulnerable, talking about our experience since we've given our life to you. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to thank you for every moment. You know, no matter how many bad days I had in my life, this 1 year with you has definitely overshadowed that. You know what I mean? I really feel like you helped me overcome darkness in so many ways in my life. I'm just thank you for what's going on in my life with me, with my wife. And I know it's getting to the kids too, but you know, it took me till 35, 34 to fully embrace it. So you was patient with me. I know you patient with them too, but best believe God, I'll be putting that word on my children. You know what I'm saying? But so like I said, so many things I could be thankful for. I don't even like sit up here being a blabbermouth because I could just go on and on and on and on and on. So I just want to sum it up by saying thank you for everything that's happening and thank you for everything that happened in my life because I understand, like, if my life was perfect, it would be no need to give you glory. You know what I'm saying? So being that I went through so many trials and that I'm still standing and you give your battles to your toughest soldiers, it just make me realize I was fit for the kingdom. Like, I really am a soldier. Like, because there's so many things that could have broke me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still here right now. And I'm actually able to bring it full circle and give you glory for, like, everything that you're doing. Like, you know, and I just pray that anybody watching this right now, that you just humble yourself before God, because without God you can't have nothing. You wouldn't have anything. Like, so how dare you give credit or gratitude to anything before you give it to God? And like, fear of the Lord is healthy fear. Like, you want a fear that says, yo, don't you drink, drive, and go home, because we all got that friend that we miss right now that didn't want to listen to that, and they got in the car, drunk, drive, boom, kill themselves, kids hurting, everybody hurting. Like, so fear of the Lord is healthy. You know what I'm saying? And I encourage you to just stop overthinking the gospel and just read it for yourself. Let it minister to your heart. And it's not about being over righteous or none of that. It's about knowing how to correct your mistakes and learning how to live a life where you don't have to keep correcting but so many mistakes. Like, that's really truly what it's about. And just loving others, man, because everybody's walking around here in darkness, man. And it's easy to be a part of the dark. The hardest thing to do is to be a part of the light, and that's where the backlash come. But when you getting that backlash, then you know you're doing something right. So if you're a Christian and you're not getting no backlash, then you need to check what you're doing, because this life that we live in right now is tough. You get what I'm saying? It really is a tough thing to get out here and be truth amongst a bunch of lies, but that's what we signed up for. That's what Jesus paid the fines for. So that's what we doing, man. In the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Amen, y'all.
Hallelujah.
I'm so tired. But I'm so thankful. And God is so good. And I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I can't wait to talk to y'all again.
This season 2, episode 3. I broke it down in season, so.
This season 2?
Because remember I was doing my old ones by myself.
Oh,
so I just did these to separate it.
Okay.
Because I was on like episode 6, but we really on like episode 3, 2
all right,
together.
Season 2.
Episode 3.
Episode 3. It was definitely a vibe. No Flesh Conference, Baltimore, Maryland. That's where we're at.
Yep. So check in with us, man. We probably gonna be podding again tomorrow.
Yes, we definitely are.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a few interviews in. I definitely want to interview King Legend. Marcus said he'll be down.
Yes.
I don't know how I'm gonna squeeze them all in, but we gonna make it work. God gonna make it work. I'm gonna get at least 2 of them out. So yeah, I'll check in with y'all.
See ya.
I guess we editing this and posting it in the morning.
Yes.
All right, so that's what it is. I might stay up and do it real quick. I don't think we gotta be there till
7, right?
time. So I might just stay up and at least try to put it together. But you know I'm about to go outside, so yeah, holla at your boy.